Hey everyone, my name is Jacob Gotlib and I'm a musician, a guitarist, a music teacher, an erstwhile composer trying to find my way back, and I also run the Creators Corps Composer Residency Program at the Louisville Orchestra here in Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks so much to my good friend Skylar for inviting me to be on his show. Skylar's been an amazing friend for the last almost 20 years, and yeah, I look up to him so much. So Skylar has asked me and the other guests on his show this season to answer 3 questions related to music making. So let's get started. So the first question is, what does new music or experimental music mean to you? It's a great question. I'll say that while I can give an academic or technical definition, I largely feel that those terms, new music or experimental music, they don't mean all that much to me these days. On the one hand, they imply a kind of break or critique from traditions, but really all that means is that they're just extensions of traditions. I mean, we redefine and continue traditions by questioning them, after all. In a broader sense, maybe they refer to approaches or attitudes to music making that question certain conventions or assumptions. Like these questions can be kind of small scale, like what happens if I write a melody using this tuning? Or maybe they can be large scale, like how necessary is sound for an experience to be musical? And you know, everything in between, really. So from the perspective of an artist, it's exploring some kind of alternative ways or paths not taken, either by yourself personally or by any other music that maybe you've experienced. But over the last decade or so, really, I've started to think about experimental or new music as a genre. Not in a sense that these practices have certain stylistic or sonic signatures, although they often do, but more in the sense that they're specific type of community. A genre, to me, refers not specifically to the music, but to the entire community and social practices that shape and are shaped by the music. So experimental and new music is certainly a genre in that sense. There are artists, audiences, venues, festivals, publications, record labels, YouTube channels, just like this one. Entire social infrastructures devoted to building and sustaining this community of people who want their ears and minds tickled in some way, or to experience something unexpected and mysterious, to ask questions of music and with music. So this question of community has been increasingly important to me over the last decade, and my professional career has actually been devoted not to creating original music as I'd anticipated, but to building this exact community. All right, so the next question is, how do you work? And this is a timely question, as over the last year or so, I've been trying to find my way back to creating original music, which has been challenging for me for a number of years. I've tried a lot of different creative approaches over the years, especially when I was much more active in composing music as a student. And I've been trying really hard to think back and evaluate which methods have served me well and which have hindered me. But for me, always, the process has to start with play. Music, for me, should be fun. It should be playtime, and you know, various instruments and devices and tools and ideas, they're kind of like a sandbox or a playground to me. So I'll start by playing around and mucking about until I stumble upon something that has a kind of astonishing or unignorable quality, whether I was looking for it or not. And I know that I found it when like my hairs stand on end and I'm like, whoa, there's something here. And I just want to listen to it over and over and over again and think about it and really try to understand what it is that I've found or discovered. So then after that, the process of actually making something with what I've found begins. That's what composing is. That's where composing starts, I guess, for me. And so I spent some time thinking about what I could make with the material that I found, and you know, that can actually be quite difficult. So, you know, is there something in particular that I want to make with it? Is there something maybe that it wants me to make? What could or should it be that creates a kind of fulfilling listening experience, for me at least, but that also foregrounds and heightens that striking hair-on-end quality that attracted me in the first place? So often around this point, at least in the past, I'll start plotting structures and musical architecture, sections, proportions, relationships with other materials, the flow of time, that sort of thing. And in the past, this has been a danger zone for me. I remember spending a lot of time developing complex formal schemes really as a way to avoid answering tough creative questions with my ears. And what would end up happening is I get so attached to the architecture and the plan that I try to stuff the music into it like a square peg into a round hole, and that would always end disastrously. So now, as I'm re-engaging with composing music, I'm trying very hard to develop more of a dialogue between the plan and the execution. So the plan kind of informs a pathway, but I don't want to get too attached to it. I want to maintain sensitivity to the music and to the sounds, and I want to feel free to shift direction or throw out the whole plan at any moment if it's not working for me. So I'd like to try approaching the formal plan not as a scheme that I need to execute, but rather as a catalyst to help me make the next creative decision. So it's a thing that helps me to move forward in whatever foreseen or unforeseen direction. So the most important thing for me now at this stage in my life is to keep the spark of discovery, curiosity, and awe alive through as much of the creative process as possible. So that's the plan anyway, and I'm curious to see if it plays out that way, and I'll keep you all posted. And so the last question is, can you show or tell me a secret? So I'm going to share with you a little phrase that has really changed my whole perspective and my relationship with music. So a couple of years ago, I started taking lessons with Marcus Pop, who most of you in the experimental music know by his artist name, Oval. And I had a few lessons with him, and these turned out to be not conventional composition lessons, but rather therapy sessions. So I'd stopped composing for years at that point and wanted desperately to find a way back, but I was saddled with all kinds of toxic attitudes and ways of thinking from my days as a student. And so Marcus really helped me to kind of excavate and question some of those. And one of the things he said to me that I'll never forget is, music is an activity, not an identity. That's the secret phrase. Music is an activity, not an identity. It's something that people do. Music is something that people do, not the thing that people are. And that means that I can be free to engage with music and music making on whatever terms I want. I can pick it up, put it down. I can do it 24/7, not do it for years. No matter what, I'm still me, and music is still something that I can do in any way that I want. And so this one phrase was a revelation for me, and it's something that I still think about every day. For folks like me who've spent our entire lives deep in and around music and taking music so seriously and shaping our lives around it, it's really clear how powerful and huge music is. It can center entire communities, like I said before. But at the end of the day, it's just an activity. Music is something that people do because it's fun or fulfilling or interesting, or it's a way to connect with others. It's a way to express themselves, whatever. Music is an activity, not an identity. And that's a little mantra or affirmation that I say to myself that has helped me really redevelop a positive relationship to my creativity at this stage in my life. So I thank Marcus for giving me that phrase. I thank him every day, and I hope it can be helpful for you all as well. So that's it for me. Thank you again to Skylar for inviting me on Gotlib Talks. It's been such an honor. Please like and subscribe to his channel. Skylar is one of the most fascinating, kind, thoughtful, imaginative folks working in new or experimental music today. Thank you so much, Skylar.